Let's try this again. Okay, on the 3rd of February, 2020, I said white. I'm not going to go through the markets because I want to cover several, but there was potentially some on, say, the S&P, maybe the comp. Actually, comp probably be better. We have, I said white here, bottom Bollinger Band 233. That's it. And then right here we have 144, bottom Bollinger Band. Right here, 1, 2. If we come over here to this, 144. It's not perfect. Anyway, it's right there. So I said the 144 strikes for 14 February. This is going to jump, and I'm not actually sure that I'd be able to enter this trade. But let's just kind of see what happens. Okay, so it does move up there. Pull back. Yep, we'd be getting out. Anyway, so this is it. My confidence was lower because the weekly stock RSI, the MACD were pushing quite strongly. At the decision, however, I think I fixated on that and did not notice the red um, cocked. This was cocked at the time, and the green is very high and came down. Plus, the previous candle closed on around a bunch of support right here. So, and then these were on some, these were on some support lines too. So it was a good move in 2 days. Push higher to the 233, positive push higher. I don't really know this would be a gold star trade, but it is something to kind of consider. Okay, let's jump forward to actually 2 more days. So on this one, there was market support on the Russell. I'm looking up at the top screen, and so this one, we're looking at, I said red, looking at the indicators in the large top wick right here. So these are pushing down. So I said a red candle. We have the 21 and the 13, which are, I guess, are technically not hard evidence per, but anyway, I counted them. 55 and the 34, which is one in the stock RSI. That's one right here. This is kind of these indicators are a little bit strange because this is still under, this is still under. So stock RSI on the 232, we have basically 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on how you want to count that. So if we want to say $152.50 puts, basically the next strike price. We have this stuff rising right here. Anyway, for the 28th February, let's watch. Okay, 1, 2. So we would have been able to get a good price on this at this one. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so makes sense that it would follow this 21 up and then bounce off this 55. Let's see. So we're going candle by candle. I don't know if this would really. So what do we have here? We basically have 1, 2, 3. Kind of depends how you count those. 4. So we do have some exit criteria. There's 5 right here. This is some exit criteria. This would be tough to try to stay in. So what I wrote is sometimes moves don't immediately move in our direction while the permissions and directions from the larger charts are there. And we'll run over the smaller charts have their own agency in the short term and may not immediately respond. So if you were to, that's what I wrote. So I have to see if I fully agree with that. I'm not sure. Let's go on to another one. 04, 20. 33. Okay. We'll look for this one. Actually, go back to the first candle here. There we go. Let's lock that into right there. This does look like a potential white. It's not really a strong white, but a white seems pretty reasonable, I suppose. Nothing on here. We got one. And also on the right here, MACD, directional movement. 33, 1, 2, 3, 4. These ones had pretty terrible spreads on the weekly, better on the monthly. So if we were to do the May 106, calls blow through that to get up to 108 for $6.30. That's a 90-cent spread. Let's see. So we started at 103, so basically 104. So sideways for two candles. Okay, that's good. That's in our direction. Yeah, basically we have a top Bollinger Band. Everything else is going for us. Not there yet. We definitely have continuation. So let's keep going. My top Bollinger Band. Keep going. So that's good. What do we have? We have top Bollinger Band. Actually, outside of that, we have 1, 2, 3. This is still has continuation. So 3, 4. We'll count that as 5. 5, 6. And that's a really good exit. I'll probably just exit there and just be pleased. It actually does go for another day. That would have been great. But even just exiting on the 28th, I think what I wrote down is actually that I was going to exit right here. Yeah, exit on the first candle. And it looks like it's about 105% gain. So that's good. If I'd stayed for another candle, it would have been over double. That would have been tough to change. But so if I'm trying to review this trade though, let me push down to go back to the beginning. No, that didn't work. There we go. Must have reset that. That's fine. Stop. Boom. 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 Right here. Okay. So what are we learning here? Well, and this is helpful, right? This is helpful. This has been along this resistance for some time, along this resistance for a few weeks. Let's just jump through this again. So what I actually wrote was so I think I said get out here, and then I wrote down a pause after just moving outside the top Bollinger Band is expected, which is what it did, and there was room to go before resistance on all three of these. 1, 2, 3, all three of these. I mean, this one had just a little bit, but to get up to this resistance or this resistance or these resistance, there was still some line. There still was some distance there. So I think there's some benefit. You could have gotten out right there. Right here would have been wonderful, and this would have just been gravy. But in any case, probably would have ended up getting out around this bottom way. But in any case, um, it's great. It's a great trade.